Hi. So if you have floors, a vacuum cleaner isn't quite a necessity, but it's an awfully nice thing to have. And vacuum cleaners now come in so many different form factors. I grew up with vacuums like the old canister vacuums that you had to pull around behind you. I've had the upright vacuums. We have a robot vacuum, and then now stick vacs. And when the SMOTURE stick vac came available for review, I got excited because stick vacs to me represent the ultimate inconvenience. Sure, a robot vacuum is going to be great for vacuuming the whole house, but if there's a particular room or a spot or a mess that you need to clean up, or maybe you just want to get some dog hair off the furniture, a stick vac with attachments can be a great option. And that's exactly what we have here. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how well this vacuum performs, how it's convenient, how long the battery lasts. So let's get into the unboxing and take a look. All right, so let's get it opened and see what we have. So we have the SMOTURE Cordless Vacuum VAC01. And this is a true unboxing, so we haven't opened this at all. And let's see what we have. All right, so we've got our standard quick start user's guide, probably in a bunch of different languages. Yep. And it looks like it's mostly just how to put it together and that sort of thing. And then a bunch of stuff in plastic bags. And I know this has a lot of accessories, so let's see what these are. All right, so here we have the vacuum head. This would go at the end of the pole. We've got a brush here that rotates, and we've got the power that passes from the vacuum down to the vacuum head. This one, I think, is either the pet brush or the mattress brush, but it also rotates. It's got power that comes down from the vacuum. So just a smaller thing for smaller items, which is great. We've got a crevice tool here for getting in nooks and crannies. Oops. I think this is the wall mount with maybe some replaceable filters. Yep, so this is our wall mount. We've got a screw set with some anchors. It looks like 2 replacement filters here. We also have, maybe, I have no idea what that is. Bluebell, do not eat. I would think it was silica gel, but it looks like it's in a slightly different packaging. A brush maybe for cleaning the filters. We've got a hook with a razor, which is actually really convenient for getting hair out of the different parts of the system. We've got the charging cord here. Just your standard AC to DC converter, wall plug. And then I'm guessing below we have the actual vacuum unit. All right, ooh, it's gold. This kind of looks like a Ghostbusters gun or something. Got the canister here. I guess the battery would attach there. Extension pole. Is this retractable or extendable? Yeah, look at that. All right, so it's extendable with a button there. It's actually really convenient. Oh, and you can lock it in multiple different positions. I like that a lot. A hose. Pretty slinky style hose that's very flexible. Hopefully it's very durable. And then last but not least, this appears to be the battery. Oh, no, we got one more piece hiding down here. So we have any specs on the battery? 29.6 volts, 2200 milliamp hours. That's not bad. Does it have an indicator on it? Does not appear to have an indicator anywhere on it to give you state of charge. There might be one on the vacuum. We'll check. And just another small brush. I guess you have an option. You can use that for hard surfaces, or you can pop this down and use it for softer surfaces. All right, well, that's the unboxing. Let's get it together and see how it performs. All right, so before we jump into the performance test, I just wanted to highlight some features that I've noticed just from looking at this unit. The first was I pulled these out during the unboxing and didn't know what they were. We have two of them. One is labeled Bluebell and one is labeled Cologne. And these are aromatherapy tablets that actually attach in the main part of the vacuum here. They slide into that slot there. So I guess they provide a nice breath of fresh air for the air coming out of your vacuum. All right, so some other unique things. We've got a button here that releases the dust canister. And let's look at our filtration. So we have one HEPA filter here, and then we've got the fan back here that pulls the air across the aromatherapy tablet there. We do have a spare one of these, and this feels like paper or plastic. I'm not entirely sure what it's made of. We've got another filter here. This is just foam. We do have a spare one of these as well. You can empty your dust canister by pushing that button there. It opens up at the bottom, and then this whole part slides out, and it would probably be good to run this under some water every once in a while to clear these small holes. But all in all, this goes together fairly easily. It seems pretty robust, and I don't see any major issues with the way this part all attaches. Oh, I did want to point out one thing, a potential bottleneck. So all the dust, crud, debris, whatever you're vacuuming, comes up this stem, goes up through here, and then has to make kind of a 90-degree turn and come out this hole right there. And it goes up into here through this little door. That is going to be where clogs happen, if clogs are happening. So that's one of the things that I'm going to look at. So we're going to try vacuuming up some leaves from the car and dog hair and see what it takes to actually clog this thing up. All right, so let's look at the rotating head, because this has some nice features in it too. This is powered. Power comes down through here. This thing spins when the vacuum is on. You've got a nice bumper on the front here so you don't mess up your furniture when you bump into it. You have 4 LED headlights as well. Hopefully they're bright enough to actually make a difference. And one really neat thing is if you can look in here, you can see this like comb or this shark tooth. So as this bar spins, these brushes are interacting with that comb or shark tooth to clean debris off of the brush itself. And we do have two different types of brushes on here. This is a stiffer brush and this one is much softer. So this would probably be great for getting hair up off of carpets, and this would be good for getting dust off of hardwood floors. But they're both on here. And this brush does pop out pretty easily for cleaning. Just slide that back, that comes off, and then the whole thing pops out like that. So eventually you will get hair and crud tied up around that wheel, and you'll need to pop this out and free that, but it does go back in pretty easily. All right, the other piece I wanted to show you is this brush. This is the upholstery brush or the mattress brush. It's very similar to the larger one, and it does pop out as well. You need a coin or something to kind of turn that mark right there. Pop that off, and then the whole brush just kind of slides out like that. Goes back in just as easily. And we're good. The last thing I wanted to show you is the extension pole, and this is actually really nice because this seems like it's good machined aluminum. It's pretty robust. You've got some steel inserts in there that actually have the detents for this. This just feels like a really nice piece of work that isn't going to break, or I'm actually just kind of impressed at how well this part seems to be made for the price point of the vacuum. So now that we've gone over all of the interesting details, let's put it to the test and see how well it does. So here I am starting to use the vacuum, and already I can hear it picking up the dirt, and that is over the sound of the vacuum itself, which is actually really impressive. I'm looking for where the adjustment is, and I realize it's that button at the bottom, and it has 3 settings, and then if you hit it another time it goes to auto. I wasn't terribly impressed with the auto setting because what it's supposed to do there is really detect the amount of dirt that you have and then adjust for it. I didn't really find that worked very effectively. I just kept it on high all the time. I guess the upside of having it on low is the battery's going to last longer, but I never really encountered a problem with the battery lasting a long time. You can really see that headlight is highlighting a lot of the dirt and crud, especially the dog hair that's on our hardwood floors. Now here's a situation where I want to move the chair, and ordinarily with a stick vac I'd have to lay it on the ground, but in this case I get to stand it upright, move the chair, and then go back to the vacuum. That's a really nice feature. That upright position doesn't feel super sturdy, and if you don't get it just right it's probably going to fall, but it's still nice to have. I did find out kind of the hard way that this will eat loose rugs, so you do have to be quite a bit careful there. So now I'm about done with the this, and it's time to go out and empty the canister. And I typically do this outside because it's kind of a dirty process, but it's easy with this one. So you open it up, you dump the dirt out, and this is just in literally a couple of minutes of vacuuming. And I don't have a dirty house. I vacuum at least once a week, but I do have a dog and 2 kids. So you can see how easy it is to actually clean this off. Once that's done, it goes back together pretty easily. You can bang the filters out, but overall this is a really simple process. Probably do want to kind of run that metal filter under some water every once in a while, and maybe even that foam filter, just to really clean it out. We do have spare foam filters as well. So now it's time to go outside and really put this to the test with trying to clean some of the debris out of my truck from a recent beach vacation that we had. So we've got a lot of leaves, we've got a lot of dust, and here I'm realizing that this thing actually mounts in kind of upside down, which isn't a big deal, but it's not terribly intuitive. I'm also realizing here that you can't lay the vacuum down. It has to be upright or it tries to suck the dirt into the fan. It's really designed to be upright, so even when you're using the extension hose, you do have to keep it vertical, which is a little bit of a disappointment because it made it awkward. Now here I am putting the small brush attachment on. I was surprised and slightly disappointed that the hose doesn't carry power, so you can't use this with the hose attachment. It has to be connected directly into the vacuum. It's also designed so that you push it. When you first use this, you really want to pull it towards you, but unfortunately it works much better if you push it, which is an awkward motion. On the loose seat cover that I have in the back for the dog hair, it did kind of want to gobble that up a little bit, so you had to hold it tight. But here we have the normal upholstery that exists in the vehicle, and it seems to be doing just fine there, although it still is a little bit awkward when you push it. Because we were just picking up dog hair and dust, I can empty this right outside, and you can see that's all the crud that just came out of my truck from a beach vacation. Once we're done, it's time to put it away, and I had mounted the holder in this closet here, and it does just pop right in. Now this holder doesn't have space for all of the tools and the attachments. The hose does not mount there, neither does the small powered brush. So let's talk about the good and the bad with the SMOTURE stick vac. Overall, I'm really impressed. I think it's a solid unit that performs well with a few minor quirks, but that are easy to work through. First of all, I was actually surprised that I couldn't clog it. In the unboxing and in the video after where I talk about some of the details, I mentioned this right angle where all the dirt and debris has to come through. The crud comes up the hose, comes through this right angle into the dust canister through the little flap there. And I really saw that initially as a pretty big opportunity for clogging. and I couldn't get it to clog. I tried clumps of dog hair, I tried leaves in the back of my truck, and this was able to generate enough power to pull everything through. So that really impressed me. I also like all of the extensions and tools, although there are some oddities with them. The one thing that is strange is that the extension hose is not powered. So the small powered brush, like the upholstery brush or the mattress brush, you can't use with the extension hose. You have to use it with the actual main unit. And that seemed to be a little bit of a miss for me. It would have been great if I could have had this sitting on the seat of my truck and used the extension hose with that rotating brush to clean the upholstery. I also thought it was strange that when you use the extension hose with this and then you plug in the small unpowered like scrubber brush, it's upside down, and that seems strange. But it was easy to kind of adjust, and in the video you can kind of see me trying to adjust that. Overall, the filtration seems really good. The filters clean out easily. The dust debris comes out easily there. You can empty it right into a trash can. The battery life seems to be pretty good, and the wall charger is pretty robust. I'm not so sure I'm sold on the little aromatherapy tablets that go in there. Right now I have the Bluebell one in there. I don't like the smell of that at all. I haven't tried the cologne one yet. I'm guessing it's going to be kind of equally off-putting, but I'll probably take those out, but that is up to you. But overall, I'm really impressed with the quality of the beater head here and how this cleans itself with these little teeth. I mean, normally after vacuuming my house, I have 3 females with long hair that live in my house, and this is usually just completely clogged up with hair. This does a great job of cleaning that out and directing that hair into the vacuum so it ends up getting picked up in the dust canister. So overall, really happy, really impressed with this unit, and I think it is a good value for the money. And I really thank you for watching the video.